Hola amigos and welcome to Zwift number 49. This is a Zwift Crit Racing Club based around the Glasgow Crit Circuit. We've got 6 laps of this course and here you can see the route which takes in the Clyde Kicker, which you can see is quite a steep little incline we've got to negotiate. It's in length of 0.3 kilometres and it's averaging around 3. Here's a better look at the route. We will come in a southerly direction down that straight part there before going downhill predominantly, as you can see on these nearer sections here, and then there's the Clyde Kicker at the bottom of the rotating map, which is, obviously you can see is the main uphill. So yeah, this is the 180 to 350 category. We've got 6 laps to go. We're going to be based mainly in the Cat D riders, and we had 18.3 kilometers to go and 199 meters of incline. So here is that start that I talked about going, when I talked about it before, going the southerly direction, slightly downhill to the start finish line. Quite a reasonable pace, to be fair to it, to start off with. We had 15 riders start the race, and we were pretty much all together apart from one as soon as we started off. So there's me in the Swedish Zwift Racing team colours, blue and yellow, and just keeping an eye on everybody here. Like I said, that Clyde Kicker is going to be the main part to negotiate and be aware of. So I'd like to think that most times when we come round to the Clyde Kicker, which is coming up in a couple of corners time, I'm going to place myself in a good position. So here we are, there's a slight uphill before a right hand turn, and it kicks up a little bit here, and I just tend to power up over the top, and then sometimes as we are pushing on down through the flat section there, I'm powering up and putting in plenty of power. One of the power-ups that we got was the invisibility power-up, which I don't really find is of any benefit. I didn't really see any of the other competitors using it to any great strength during the race. So yeah, here's the other one. We've got a feather at the top of the Clyde Kicker, so I've got a feather here. Potentially with the benefit of that feather, I'm going to hold on to that until we get back round to the Clyde Kicker again. So we've settled in, quite stretched at the moment as we've just gone up and down those few hills. What I found on a few occasions is coming down this hill here, I was able just to power on through gently, and I don't know whether it was a weight issue, as in my heavy weight, that enabled me to go straight through the group on a couple of occasions, that being the first. I'm sure I did it 2 or 3 times in total during the 6 laps. So that's almost 1 lap to go. To the right is where we came down before on that start finish, and here is that finish line where we've got the champion sprint, which is only 200 metres, but and it's also downhill, and I tried to put a bit of that effort in again. You can see that my stats for the first time round meant that I was the quickest. I can't remember if that stayed till the end. I'm actually outside at the moment recording the audio for this race. The weather's nice, so I'm taking advantage of that. So you may well hear the odd car go past, or birds chirping in the background is the noise you might be able to hear at the moment. There's 9 riders out in the front group now. We've got a few riders like João Mendes that you can see has been distanced by 10 seconds, as well as Jakob Nielsen, he's just over 20 seconds behind, and Olaf Chaparral, he's a little bit further behind as well. So they've all been distance. There's H Riviera as well that you can see. But these 9 riders you can see out the front after we've been up the Clyde Kicker are pushing along nicely. We're all stretched out. I'm chasing down Darren Hardwell as he comes past me here, and we're all quite stretched out. Matthias Boba also there pushing the pace, but we all do come back together again, and you can see that it's going to settle down again quite nicely. You can also see that after the Clyde Kicker we've been able to drop a rider by the name of T. Indrabo. He's now 10 seconds behind and drifting off the back. So there's actually 8 of us out the front now. We've got just 4 laps to go when we go over the start-finish line, which you can see down in front of us here. So yeah, pace is increasing. Average watts of 233 is reasonably high. Going through the champion sprint where I'm still the quickest rider. I don't think anybody makes any inroads on that. Heart rate is reasonable at 153. I've got a feather power up, which I'm probably going to hold on till we get to the Clyde Kicker. So I'm just going to sit round the back and see how that helps me out by keeping as much energy as possible for the latter stages of the race. So up the main part of the Clyde Kicker, here we go. I've popped the feather, as have the majority of the riders. El Gafas is leading us up. C is Sigariso, he's also pushing hard. And Giles Stutzman is also pushing hard. So there's 3 riders off the front now. A 4th one just joins them, which is Gus Good. And I've got a challenge to try and catch hold of them. Darren Hardwell goes past me as well, so there's a challenge here. Can I keep hold of these other riders? There's 2 on Tron bikes, just to help you identify them. Not that that gives them any advantage really, but we do come back together again and we drop down that hill. So if I've been pushing hard, it's likely that this might be in another lap where you'll see me come through to the front, which again does happen. So just over 3 laps to go as we go through those bends. I always push hard up this little hill as well. I don't know, it's just habit. And you can see my watts go up over 440. There goes El Gafas again. Stutzman, Giles Stutzman, you can see in the red bike, he's made a push for it and he's now got a lead of 3 seconds and everyone's aware of that. I'm at the back of the group with just Matthias Boba behind me. You can see his head there and body. But we're all single file and pushing hard now, and I'm right at the back, out in 8th. Giles Stutzman, he's not going to have any benefit from any drafting, and is he going to be able to maintain that? We'll see. So through the hard work of the chasing group, we did actually get Giles Stutzman back to ride with us, and we're back up to 8 riders. We've got Craig Dolly, who's back 47 seconds behind us, and we'll go back up the Clyde Kicker again now. I've got the feather, so I popped it a little bit later than I normally have been, so that probably means that I'll still have a bit of my feather when I get off over the top, but I power up nice and hard. El Gafas there, you can see, used his invisibility, powered up, and that's why he's appeared. A few of the others, like Gus Good, he's chasing, as is Sigariso, and we're all stretched out again, but I don't feel under too much pressure at the moment. I know that this is a nice part of the ride for me, up that slight incline there. and that actually does take me through. I use my invisibility power up, not for any reason that I'm thinking I'll try and sneak ahead at this point. Don't know if anybody else thought I was going to pop up any further down the course, but just wanted to get rid of it and make sure that when I get back to the start finish line, I've got another power up. So yeah, we're doing all right here. Pace is reasonable still, and now we've got just over 2 laps to go. So 2 laps to go, and unfortunately I've got the invisibility power up, which is not going to help me at the kicker clearly. But I'll look to use that at some point. I can't remember where I actually used it. I don't think I used it in any place that was really relevant, but I'm sure I would have popped it before I got to the top of the fly kicker, because that's when you can get another power up. So I wouldn't have held on to it any longer than that. So we've still got the 8 riders within the group. Out at the front at the moment is Gus Good, but we're all very much together again. Pace is cracking along. You can see my watts there, where it's just dropped a little bit. It was up around 240. It's back up to 240 now as we come up the Clyde kicker again. You'll probably see it go up to about 400 as I go. So having a bit of fun here with the invisibility power up, making other riders think that perhaps I could just appear from nowhere. Got to make sure that I do use lots of power going up there, because that's somewhere where you can get distance. And you can see now, look, I'm back in 6th place, and instantly some of the riders, they've got a good couple of seconds. Giles Stutzman and Matthews Ober, they're already out there, and I'm in danger of getting distance here now. And even though I did use my power up of invisibility, I got another invisibility power up. So I was able to catch hold of most of the riders, but you can still see we're quite strung out. This is the section I keep talking about, how I normally start getting a little bit closer to the riders or go out the front, but the pace had certainly increased by this point, and just keeping a very, very close eye on anybody wanting to try and make a break for it. See, Gareth So is out the front at the moment. Now it's Matthias Bober. So just keeping an eye, just making sure that nobody really sprints off. I don't think at this point I was watching everybody's watts per kilogram in the standings. Because obviously dropping orange numbers, you get a clear indication that somebody's putting a real surge in, or a start of a sprint maybe. But just keeping an eye on everybody. But when you've got as many riders as you have here, it's difficult to keep an eye on everybody. But we are in now the last lap, and unfortunately I've got the invisibility power up again, which isn't going to help me, but Gus Good makes a push for it out in front. He's getting followed by Darren Hardwell, and we're all stretched out because Giles Stutzman's also pushed on. I've not really got anything in me at this point. You can see my watts are quite strong, but just trying to hold on at the back of the group. Heart rate's up in the 160s, which means that I've not got much more in me to help me out, but I've got quite a few riders around me, so I make one last effort going up the Clyde kicker so that I can stay in touch or break away from a few of them. But you can see there's 5 riders out in front of me. At the moment that's Casper Larsen leading, followed by El Gaffas. He's got C. Galasso quite close to him. And then we've got Matthias Bober as well. He's pushing hard as well. But those 5 riders have gone. I can still see that Larsen's the one who's leading them out. Matthias Bober's chasing them down. Gaffas is also there close by, and as is Stutzman. I've got Gus Good just past me, so I want to try and keep hold of his tail towards the finish line, so that hopefully I can pinch 6th place. So I come right up behind him. I debate about going past him at this point, but I decided to sit in and stay in his tail. At this point, I was now thinking, right, I'll make a push for it and see how I get on. But it didn't materialise. So the leaders have gone round the corner. I can see now that Stutzman is putting down the power. He's 14 seconds ahead and he's leading them out, followed by Casper Larsen. And the rest of the riders I'll go through in a second, but you can see that Gus Good also was able to drop me. So here's the final positions that I will talk about now. We have Giles Stutzman taking the win in 29.11, averaging watts of 2.8, then followed by Casper Larsen, just 2 seconds behind. Then we had C. Gariso in third, 2.5 seconds. Then Matthias Boba was fourth. El Gaffas 5th. Gus Good, you saw, push ahead of me, and then I came through in 7th. I was also followed over the line by Darren Hardwell, followed by Craig Dolly, then João Mendes, and then Olaf Chaparral, and also Jakob Beeson was the last one over the line. So quite enjoyed that, worked really hard. Please subscribe if you enjoyed watching it, and I'll do some more. Cheers, see you again.